What is good? What's going on, everyone? This is your guy, Pat Bernard, and alongside my broadcast partner, Steve Fuentes. Guys, in the Philadelphia Union soccer world, not much. I mean, little bit of what's going on as far as production. We've yet to gain ground, but we didn't lose any. We didn't put no points on the board. We didn't lose anything either. So, it's a team that's been making quite adjustments. I'll start right from the top with Jim Curtin. A lot on this man's plate, whether guys are getting called out, whether guys are getting injured. You have two of his primary pieces are injured right now, as far as his top striker, as far as his top goaltender. And he's trying to make all the right adjustments. And listen, sometimes he makes it off the fly. I mean, this dude is an intelligent man. But listen, Steve, you were down there last night covering the game. And guys, if you haven't checked out Steve's handiwork, you go to edgeofphillysports.com. You can catch his article right there. As always, great stuff to read. If you haven't caught up to it, for all you readers out there. And if you guys are not big readers like myself, he does have a lot. He has some quick hot takes that go out through the game as well. So catch his pregame work, whether it doesn't matter what social media platform you follow us on. He's everywhere. Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Steve is everywhere as far as handiwork. Steve, so I'm going to go with you. 2 nights now, this Philadelphia Union team come up with nothing, but they didn't lose nothing. So, Steve, walk me through it. What have you seen from this team so far?
It's like it's like 2 even teams with playing tug of war. Hey, my man Phil Duke, what's going on, man?
Duke, and guys, tomorrow, catch him tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. He will talk. He's going to have you. Does a beautiful job here on Edge of Philly Sports. He does Monday through Friday work. Really the workhorse of Edge of Philly Sports, man. He talks it all. Great show as always, man. Love that guy.
Releasing his, I think his final, the top 5 of his quarterback rankings. So definitely got to check that out tomorrow.
Yes.
No, this team, it's hard to be happy, but it's hard to be mad because 3 clean sheets, on paper, when you just read that, it's like, oh yeah, nice. But the first one comes against New England, who's bottom feeder team of the league. And for 70% of the game, you were playing a man up. So it's hard to get real excited about that. Happy to see it. But then the last 2 games, you get the point on the road, 0-0 draw. Semmle's looking great. That is probably the brightest spot of this last little 3-game, let's break it up into that 3-game, this clean sheet. So, streak that we have. So, and then last night, Curtin said it, they played sloppy. They played bad in that first half. And credit to Toronto. They scouted well. They had a game plan. It seems like every single team that is coming into Subaru Park now knows the code, and they've broken it to this Union team. They're not afraid. There was no energy. The fans are bringing it, and
yes,
that second half, they really came out strong in the second half. They had tons of opportunities, but it's, again, nothing is getting across the net. Nothing's going in. And Curtin stressed it. It's almost like luck. They don't have any right now. To get 3 clean sheets, the defense, that is something that is, since Leon Flock has come back and is in shape and is in form. The first few games where he was a sub, that you could tell that he really was a step behind, walking a lot, sloppy passes. These last 3 games where he started, the defense, him and Jack Elliott, have been the highlights of 2 back-to-back scoreless draws. which I'm happy about that. But where's Gazdag during all this? Where you're looking for him to continue this offensive streak that he's had. The club was without Carranza last night, so that was a little shocking. Hopefully, he's going to be available this Saturday. But now that the defense is fixed, it's almost like 180. The offense has gone away. And so it's like, where do you go from here? Do you mix up the starting lineup? I was looking at things and just based off the last few matches, I'd almost maybe go to Ua or Sullivan as a super sub to have that spark of energy coming off the bench. I think Jose Martinez played great last night. That was good to see. Maybe coming off the bench was good for him. Sometimes these guys just need that motivation to need to play again. When a club's playing as bad as they are, it's hard to find that want to play or that passion when you're just losing or you're getting draws. But these draws, everybody else is getting wins within this. 7 draws on the season already.
Wow.
Only 5 points at home. Only 5 points at home. I don't know. What do you think, formation wise, lineup wise, that they might have to do to mix things up?
Well, first of all, Steve. First of all, what's up there, JD? JD Walker, another great Union beat reporter, does phenomenal work as always. It's always good to hang out with him.
Good seeing him last night.
Yeah. Oh, you got to hang out with the JD Walker.
Yeah. He came down. We talked for a little bit. Always good to see him. Every game I've seen him. So
nice. Listen, you gave me a mouthful to react to, and first of all, you're absolutely right. Albert Semmle, I wasn't even thinking about that. Of course, I always think negative about this team, but you're right. There are some good things you could take away from this game, and since that New England game, the get right game, this guy has been playing a lot better. He's been solid between the pipes. Again, nothing's gotten by him. He's seen a lot of balls, a lot of action from Charlotte, from Toronto. The kid Bensky, a playmaker for Toronto. A playmaker. Last game against Montreal up there, he put up a hat trick. He recorded a hat trick. I mean, he was a one-man wrecking crew up there, But when he came down to face this Union team, Semmle, the backup was just phenomenal. Just being a real, like I said, he was a brick wall. Nothing getting between the pipes. Stopping that kid Bernard Husky, and then again, just a great, like I said, during this stretch, he's been solid. He's been solid since the get right game with New England. Again, shutout against Charlotte, shutout against Toronto. Semmle has been looking solid between the pipes. Like I said, stopping a lot of work. The defense in front of him has been playing very, very well. I got to give credit to that. Now, when you turn over the book and you talked about the offense, and that's the hard part about it, is the inconsistency of this team. The inconsistency. The coach has now called you out publicly, saying how bad of a start you guys have been. You guys only show up for one half of soccer. And that's not good enough. That's not good enough to go anywhere. And this is Charlotte, right? Toronto, I'll give you, tough. But this is Charlotte. This is Montreal. Well, Charlotte's a little better than what they were. But Montreal, I mean, these are teams that you should be putting away. You should be walking out with W's. And again, 2 games at home. Now, granted, you didn't lose, but you have yet to pick up a W in quite some time now. Yeah. I don't know what the issue is at playing Super Bowl Park. Do we need a raccoon to come out to spark up this team? Do we need a 14-year-old kid to come out and give this team some kind of light? I mean, what's going on out there? And we got a couple more comments coming in.
Uh,
Um,
I don't get.
you pull out the fire. Here he comes. Freddie Burns, the hot rod. He goes, "Yo, guys, 7 draws. Wow, dude. Yeah. It's not pretty there, Fred. I mean, 7 draws. It's I don't know. It's kind of reminds me of the tail season of last year. This is what they're known to get is draw after draw after draw after draw. Especially, and I get it. They're going to go say, well, it's our heavy schedule, and I get it. You're playing 2 games a week, but you're not the only teams that are doing this. The whole league is playing 2 games a week. JD checking is my big takeaway is that the time for all of us to stop crapping on Leon Flock. The results since he has been stepping for Jose speaks for himself.
I'm one of those guys. I'll admit it. When he was in the starting lineup, as much as he was, I was pretty shocked to see how quick he was inserted into the starting lineup. So for what he's shown, as he's back to what he was before, pre-injury. So he's proven to the reason why he has his starting position back. It just took him a few games to get into form. So you're going to have that after injury. So I'm 100% with JD about how, it's time to stop poo-pooing on him and just let it be for what it is.
Yeah, he says Semmle's biggest save at the end of the Charlotte game got in that point. Yeah, he was a brick wall. Adam, what's up, my man? He goes, "What's up, guys? Go Union." What's up, Adam? Thanks for checking in.
What's going on, dude?
I was one of the Flock doubters too. I'm glad eating my words. Charlotte and Toronto are no joke, though. Both in playoff position. The goals will come. Montreal is hot garbage. Hot garbage. Yeah. Montreal's on hot. It's hot garbage.
I was looking at the standings this morning. They're at 16 points. The Union are at 19. So Montreal is not going to roll over, and no one is. Like I was saying earlier, no one's afraid to come into Subaru Park anymore. So why not? Why not let this be maybe Montreal's get right game, right? Other teams are coming in here thinking vulnerable team. They smell blood. So why can't Montreal win this game possibly or come out? And we've seen it. How many matches where clubs were at the bottom of their conference or not in playoff contention at the time where the Union played them, and they come in and they upset them. So it's one of those games where it's, do you have that Philadelphia attitude of, well, here we go. At least the tailgate's going to be fun sort of mindset because you just don't know what to expect? Or do you have it like, no, come on, like this team, I think they're minus 12 in point differential. If you can't get a goal, at least one, in this match, I mean, that's when you're really gonna, because now next is the bye week after this match, so that you're just leaving 2 weeks for so many questions.
Yeah, and so when you look at it too, right? You mentioned about Montreal coming in for them, and this could be their get. They already had their get right game. Okay, they had DC coming into Montreal, and they beat the brakes over them, and they needed it because they haven't had a win since second week of April. So they wound up beating the brakes off DC, winning 4-2, but they have yet to win in a row since the second week of March. So, but like you said, now they kind of got things right. They might be smelling themselves a little bit. They got the boost of confidence coming in. Like you said, no one's fearing coming to Subaru Park anymore. No one has that. Again, they're obviously going to be doing all their videotape work. They're obviously going to be looking at how they get balls past. Obviously, if the defense for the Union can stay the same, fine. But there's got to be a playmaker. There's got to be a playmaking playmaker in case you don't have Carranza, in case,
Yeah.
who's going to step up. That's the problem. And like you look at this Toronto game, there was a couple good looks from the Union. You had Sullivan get a couple good looks. Looks like Sullivan, but there was just no finish. There was a Wagner to Bedoya pass, and Bedoya just comes out with a header and nothing, just flat soda. That's what this team has
Good
been
opportunities,
as far as
though.
offense production, flat.
Good opportunities, and it's like Curtin says it too, that I know that you guys are sick and tired of hearing these guys are trying, these guys want to win, but it's it almost is a broken record of like, man, like some of these chances were earlier on in the season, but Doyle puts that in. He put it in. I think it was the Sporting Kansas City game, Sporting KC, where he had that goal late in the match that tied it up, and it was like, oh my gosh, you're not getting any of those even like spark goals. And another, I guess, good thing is you're not really worried about the first half woes anymore, because at least the defense, you talked about it, that back four, Kai, Harriel, and Elliott and Glesnes. Really, I think the starting those starting center backs should be Elliott and Glesnes with Damian Lowe coming off the bench until one of those guys start on a decline. But the both of them have really played great, and that's they've been there a lot for Semmle, where Semmle hasn't been. There was a goal earlier on in the season that Glesnes or Jack Elliott wasn't there for Semmle at the back of the post, where I forget which game it was, but it might have been at the Atlanta game, and it was like Semmle was like, "Where were you? You're not seeing that sort of miscommunication anymore. The sort of passes that Jose Martinez, just the mental unforced errors, you're not seeing it as much. Maybe because Flock is back in the starting lineup, and if there's more, the team is playing more fluid now within each other. Maybe you keep this sort of starting lineup that you put out. I know we'll probably talk about it later about the Carranza news and everything like that, but at some point this club is going to be without Carranza, so you have to start looking ahead. And I was talking to JD earlier. We were messaging back and forth about how we're looking forward to this youth movement that's going to happen here in a few seasons, because I'm just ready to see new faces at this point, if the results are going to be 7 draws. So I don't know. What do you think?
It's funny you said that real fast. Montreal is where they need to get the goals. Like you said, that the problem is who's going to show up. JD also checking in because that team was so stupid to let Nancy go. They've been trash ever since. Yeah, listen, but like I said, with this Union team, I don't know what crew. I don't know what team's going to show up. I don't know what Philadelphia Union team is going to show up. We're going to get the A team, B team, Z team, F team. I don't know. It's your head spins with this squad, and like you said, you're going to. I don't know. I know we're going to get into talking about Carranza's problem, but like you said, I feel like without him, this team is blank. This team is flat.
Yeah.
This team don't have an answer, and like you said, at some point, he's not going to be there to hold your hand anymore, and then what? And then what? Indeed, he is there. Time. Yeah. Here goes time for the UFL, man. Yes. There you go. Football. He goes, Phil Stifel's the man. Yes, he is. He's definitely the man.
Yes, he is.
But when you look at this, again, Bedoya, trying to make a play, nothing. Like I said, tries to come up with a header goal, nothing. I mean, luckily, though, for the Philadelphia Union yesterday, that kid, like I said, Benarski, he had a wide open look, and he just happened to go way over Semmle's head. He go past him, and that's what, but if he would have found it, it would have been over. And that, like I said, that dude's a playmaker. Over here from Italy, playmaker for Toronto. Again, probably a good reason why that team is in the position that they're in.
Yeah.
But like I said, we'll credit the Philadelphia Union defense. We'll credit Alva Semmle and his style of play. 3 clean sheets, nothing getting by him, being a complete brick wall between the pipes. Fine. But that offense needs to show. Someone needs to come through. Give me Uwa. Sullivan's trying to come up with a finish. But someone needs to be down there on the attack with him. And now I feel like you're begging Bedoya to come up with something. And I don't know. And I love Gazag, and this could have been the Gazag's game, but you can't always rely on him either.
I was thinking the same thing. Yep, I was thinking the same thing.
You can't always rely on him. I mean, I saw him Saturday against Charlotte, right? He was trying to make plays there. He was trying to make some plays. He was trying to really, again, brought that offensive pressure and really trying to make some plays, but nothing was going against, nothing was finding. Here goes JD Walker. He goes, I got a video of Benarski airmail that shot on my channel, Streampunk Soccer. Yeah, dude, he miffed it. That's like me playing basketball. I mean, I shoot nothing but air balls. That dude obviously just trashed it pretty bad. So anyway, let's take a quick commercial break.
That might be where the Union are getting lucky on point blank goals where the opponent should have scored. And it's like, man, I want to get lucky on the other end where we're the one getting, an own goal from the other squad or whatever, or PK. When was the last time we even, besides the UA one, when was the last time we had, a PK in a while? So it's just like, even those little things, they're offensively, they're just unlucky right now.
Unlucky. And for you Philadelphia Union fans that are checking into this show, we highly appreciate you guys checking in. Hit like, subscribe to us. Big question coming up for you guys.
Smash it.
Before we get to, we're on the other side. Is this Philadelphia Union team leaving you guys more questions than answers? We'll get back to the other side in just a minute. Let's take a quick commercial break with our great sponsors here from Edge Philly Sports.
If you get hurt at work, in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, you call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Firm. Cherry Law Firm is here to fight for you and get what you deserve. Cherry Injury Law is a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you have been seriously injured in the state of PA by the negligence of another, and if you have questions for a Westchester or media personal injury attorney, please don't hesitate to call. Call 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your right. And again, that number is 610-565-0300 or go to cherryinjurylaw.com.
All right, guys, we are back. We are live here. Right back at it, attacking third. Me, Pat Vermandler, Steve Fuentes, giving him a follow there. As you see, Soldier Steve 24/7. So again, guys, we're going to get right back into the mix of things. Philadelphia Union. I have to ask, is this team leaving you more questions than answers as far as looking into the future? As far as how you're feeling? And because we have a baseball team that has us feeling pretty darn good right now. Even though they went through a little bit of a rough, some turbulence through this road trip, but yet they salvaged it yesterday and win 6-1. But this Philadelphia Union team, I still have a little bit more questions than answers. And we're sitting in the 8th seed. We're not sitting on the top of the hill. I mean, early March, we were there. We were at the 2 seed. And then we lose our number one goaltender, we lose our number one striker, and it's just been hot garbage. I mean, it doesn't know if, and we'll get right into it. I don't know if Carranza can stay healthy. I don't know if Blake can stay healthy. But like you said, you need to have a plan B, and it seems like this team just doesn't have. And I get it. Guys are getting called up. We heard the news all through the week. A couple of guys are getting called. There's something, but there should be a plan B in place because this stuff can happen in sports. So, Steve, I'll go to you. Are you left with more questions than answers with this team?
Well, that was a perfect segment because
Yes.
I actually had questions where it was like I don't necessarily want them answered because I wouldn't be asking them if I if you had the answers but so one of them, and this might be a little harsh, but did the manager forget how to manage? Because Jim waits until so long. He's done it all season to make a sub. Why? And then just because you're bringing two guys in at once or three guys in, and yeah, it was nice to be able to see Ty, but again, you're bringing him in the 78th minute. Why is that when you're giving the oldest guy on the club a breather? Why isn't it in like the 60th minute where you're making the first sub? You don't need to make them in bunches. And it's match after match after match that he's waiting, and you hear the murmurs. You brought Ty on in the 88th minute in one match, and it was like, what are you going to see from him at all? I would almost be pissed that you brought me on at that point. It's almost like you waited until the end of my shift to fire me, sort of like mentality. Like you made me work, and then you kick me out. So like, and he's great. He's a great manager. He's a great coach, but I sometimes think he's too much of a player's coach at times, where it's just be the coach. I know you have your guys, but Donovan probably doesn't need to be one of the subs coming on. Probably just doesn't. He is doing great down there with the Union too.
Yes.
I would love to see more of him in Leagues Cup in moments like that, but I don't think he needs to be one of the usual first subs coming on. So that's one question I have. Have players regressed, or has the rest of the league just figured them out? And we've talked about that in previous shows. Every other club went out and at least brought in a new face, some new blood of something to spice up the locker room for whatever reason, something that brought them hope. Like, all right, well, what's this guy going to bring to the table? The Union haven't done that. So when you have constant film to study from the same year, when you're not even switching your formation, unless you're in situations where players are called up to their national club, their national team, and stuff like that. But that was one of the questions that was presented to Jim in the post game. What have you thought about maybe switching up the formation and seeing if something like that can trigger the offense to start seeing? Because it's like in other sports. In baseball, when you're on a drought, sometimes you just got to see that ball get out of the infield. Or if you're on a home run drought, once you see the ball go over the into the stands one time, wow, that could open it up. When you're struggling from the 3-point line, once you see it go in, wow, it can do wonders for you. Once this club can see the ball maybe go in the back of the net, it might do wonders for them. So what are you doing to help them do that other than just, they're working hard and they're training hard. So those are some of the questions that I had because, it starts at the top. And I feel like the players are gotten better. You got essentially a new player in Flock because he hasn't been here up until, recently. So it's like, what have you done to help spice things up or mix things up to put them in better situations?
Bravo, Steve. Bravo. I mean, it's solid. I couldn't disagree with any of your points. I can't. It's all true. It's all true. Here goes JD Walker. 10 minutes. Ty tells us absolutely nothing besides Anderson had better chemistry with Uwa early in the season. That's it. And he says, I also have a press conference player interviewed videos. Thanks for inviting me, guys. No, anytime, JD. Listen, I'm with you. That's the problem with this organization. First of all, you mentioned about Bedoya, and God rest his soul, my man Gus would be flipping now with this team because the minute he says Bedoya get more than a half hour, he'd be pulling his hair out about him just why. JD could probably mention that with me. Wouldn't understand it. So, but it does leave you a lot of more questions and answers, and you really didn't make a splash. Didn't really make a splash this all season, other than bringing Semmle in here,
which was huge.
There's no new blood, no offense. So. Mm-hmm. No new blood on offense, nothing. You have the same team that you're running back with the same team you had from last year. Maybe a new guy from farm system. That's it. I mean, there's nothing out there that kind of wowed you. Like I said, maybe other than Semmle right now, it's been so far your best thing you've done. But again, offensively, nothing. And that's what hurts. I mean, this team, again, it goes back to this team not want to spend money, want to build through the farm system and build through the farm system only, where teams around the league are looking to bring in. And listen, Miami's the first one to, go through the crack of the wall by bringing Messier. And then other teams are making significant runs. Cincinnati's of the world, they're trying to make significant runs. But this team is not. So let me take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We're going to continue on about this more questions and answers segue. If you fans out there, like I said, maybe you have a question about Jim Curran. Maybe you're worried about him. We'll talk about that more on the other side.
If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best. If you want to travel with the pros, then go to phillysportstrips.com. Philly Sports Trips features premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans ever the Philadelphia sports fan. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages and full travel packages available with round-trip flights for Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, and even the Union. They even offer day trips for more local games. Go to phillysportstrips.com, sign up immediately, and tell them EOP sent you. Do not forget, Philly Sports Trips has all the away trips for the Eagles' upcoming 2024 season, including the Brazil trip week 1. Jump on it now before you lose out on all these great opportunities. Go to phillysportstrips.com and don't miss the next great Philly sports moment.
I think I'm going to try to take that Philly sports bus. I think I'm going to try to take that Philly sports bus maybe to one of the that Red Bulls, the away Red Bulls match, if it's going there in August.
Yeah, give me Steve. I'll be right back. Can you hold it down for a minute?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, guys. So one thing that I thought was huge that kind of struck everyone by surprise was the starting lineup from last night. Big void, big person missing, Julian Carranza. You started hearing murmurs because of the talk about him in not, I wouldn't say deep negotiations, but in negotiations with a club. I can't pronounce it. I'll never be able to pronounce it, but you know, for leaving in the winter. So when that news comes out earlier in the week, it's like, oh, well, you know how this usually goes in baseball. You've seen those guys are instantly pulled out of the lineup when the trade deadline gets here, or someone's not coming to practice because they get trade deadline's coming up. So hey, it's time for you to go. So this was like, is that what's happening? And then up in the press box, you hear the rumors of it's an ankle injury, and then that Jim is going to address it post game. So all game, all match, you go without Julian Carranza, where that makes you think like, man, what sort of impact would he have been able to bring to the club last night? So after the match, Jim addresses the media saying that it's an ankle injury, that he sustained it against Charlotte. They were texting. He woke up this morning or yesterday morning, Wednesday morning, and it was sore, and that he knew his body. So ended up not having him in the lineup at all. And he was asked about his availability for Saturday, and that the plan is to have him available. So he said it had nothing to do with the possible upcoming transfer window and everything like that, and that he would have told us. He has no reason to lie to us. So it was kind of funny because all throughout the match, I'm talking about Carranza, and how he wasn't available in the starting lineup, and how it was a real big shock. And how Curtin said that he got bumped ankle during Charlotte and woke up Wednesday morning and wasn't able to play. And it was like, seems kind of fishy when, all this talk earlier in the week. So what did you take away from him not being available last night and even on the bench?
Yeah, it just tells you it's whatever's going on. Again, the unions, the union doctors are becoming like the 76er doctors. I don't know what to take anymore. I don't know what to believe. I mean, the guy looks like, again, he's being dinged up this whole year. I don't want to say he's a target on the field, but it kind of is. He's always getting banged up. And listen, for him not to be out there at all, saying that there's something significantly wrong with him right now, injury-wise. And I don't know, maybe he got a concussion. I don't know. What kind of injury that we're looking at right now. But, I mean, for him not to be on the field, it's bad. It's and this team, I don't know how can Jim Curtin try to stay faced with all this and try relax the Union fan base, because without your number one striker, man, this team hurts. And so again, this kind of goes back to what we talked about a little earlier. We talked about he's not always going to be there. Do you have anything on Union 2 ready to come up through the farm system? There's got to be something other than a 14-year-old kid that can play. I mean, you got to show me something. Then you got to show me a little something where, and like you said, Ty's only getting 25 minutes of playing time. That's not showing me if this guy can play or not. I need to see him get a little bit more. You're talking about trying to get someone's feet wet. This guy can't even get a toenail wet. So, and right here, J.D. Walker chiming in is, if Donovan outplaying the other strikers in practice, that's a problem. Yeah, good point. We're going to see things switch up in a few weeks because they won't have a choice with everyone leaving for internationals. Right. Good choice. So listen, it's kind of, maybe this will be like a thing he didn't do intentionally that might wind up being the better for the team. But he goes, they stopped the bling on defense. That's an important part of the
Yeah.
The goals come, Jack said to us after the game, that you can't lose when you don't disintegrate goals. Disintegrate a goal. He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. You and listen, Toronto played them just as tough on defense, just as tough. They stuck with the Union. They played down to the competition. They played the man-to-man zone. They were shutting everything that Philly was trying. They were. I will say that Toronto team has turned it around. Charlotte has turned it around. But I felt like we could have won this, and no, we came out with nothing, which is the bad part. Like you said, you could look, Philadelphia Union fans, you could look at this two ways. You could take away some things that the defense and goaltending has been really, really good, but the offense has been a flat tire, and you can't. And like you said, I don't know, where's the energy at? Is the coach's message getting to it? Like, why does the coach have to yell during the halftime? What is it about this team? Why aren't these guys wanting to step up on their own? Why does it have to be the coach? Why does it have to be a veteran player? Why don't the team already have the energy to go out there and want to make plays instead of forcing them to make plays? Oh man, look, it's halftime. We're down by 2. We got to come out swinging. Oh well, we're down by halftime. We can still win this, guys. Come on. No, it should be that energy you go into the game with. You should have that in your mindset. We're here to rip your throat out. You're in our home. We're not going to get pushed around in our home, and it's not there, and which doesn't look good on Jim, because if your message is not there,
no,
and your team is not responding to you, and they have to wait until a veteran player has to step up and say something, then that's not looking good on you as well, and that could be scary, because then that tells the front management they might have to look elsewhere for a head coach. And I love Jim. Jim's the longest tenured head coach in Philadelphia sports. Again, this team is a playoff team every year with Jim. But is that as far as we go? Is that now like the first, second round as far as we go? I mean, last year was predictable. This is as far as they're going to go as the second round. And that would be it. So it's tough.
Question for you.
It sucks. Good.
How do you feel? What do you like better? Bedoya starting or Bedoya coming off the bench? And if you like him off the bench?
Bedoya off the bench. He's a great spark plug off the bench.
I think these last few matches when I see him start, I wish he got pulled a lot sooner, but I keep thinking about that, like either a Sullivan or Uwa being like that super sub for Bedoya, like maybe 10 minutes into the second half, if there's nothing going. But you got to be able to pull that trigger. And in what other sport is the club going to be able to go stale like this, and the head coach doesn't get at least talked about being on the hot seat? I really don't even hear any talks about him being on the hot seat at all.
No, he's too beloved. And they're also not going to move him. He just signed a contract not too long ago. Extension. Yeah. Just got the money back. So he's not going to go anywhere no time soon. I
don't want him to leave.
But the fans again. There's certain people in this city that just are beloved, and he's one of those guys who they just overlook it. And listen, at some point, you're going to have to. You have to start questioning the coach and questioning the message and questioning a bunch of things. And I don't know. It's kind of sucks. I mean, then again, I feel like his hands are tied with the tools he's given. He can't. You want him to make.
You're right.
You want him to make raviolis. Well, I mean, or whatever you want. You want to make a 5-course dinner. Well, I mean, he's only handed a handful of groceries that you want to cook with. He can't cook. You know what I mean? That's
true. That's true.
You want brand new tires on your Ferrari. My man's giving you're going to have to plug your tires with your mouth. It's going to be a long time to get that process going. Yeah. So it's going to be a long time for that stuff to happen. He needs something to work with. He has two players offensively who's been showing up all year, and you have an aging, ready to retire player that looks to me who's trying to make some kind of offensive plays. I'll give Bedoya that. He's given effort. You have Sullivan speed, and after that, you have poop. You have blank. I thought he was off to a great start. He's had some good games this year, and then he's been back of a milk carton. He's been hanging there. Where is he? And it's the same thing. The coach not giving some other guys some playing time that they should give playing time, unless he's seen stuff in practice that he don't like. Maybe he's seen stuff in practice that he don't like from those guys, and saying, "Oh, maybe you're not ready to take on the world yet. Maybe you just need to hang back." But until we need to see something. It sucks. So, but Steve, listen, it's been 2 games that you've been there. You covering, and it's got to be frustrating, especially yesterday because everyone's hoping for some magic to happen, and now to me is at some point if something doesn't happen for the good of the Union, the message is going to be you're going to get blue seats, and that's the last thing Jim wants is some blue seats. And I get you got diehard Union fans, and you got season ticket fans. They come every game, and the parking and the tailgating and all those things. It starts to add up, and you get Flyers hockey in the end result. You get Flyers hockey in the end result. It's not good. That's what you get: flat, bombed out, out of steam. No good Flyers hockey. That's what you get with this Union team. And guess what you get in return? Blue seats. That will be the message to the front office. When he turns around and sees nothing but a bunch of blue seats sitting there, that seems to be buys in there pumping it up. So, Angel chiming in. What's up, Angel?
Point, Angel, dude. You make a good point though, and so you kind of added on to JD's one comment about we're going to see things switch up because of internationals, and then you had mentioned maybe that's like a blessing in disguise that you're forced to have to play some new faces, and that's what you need. I really thought about that after you said that, and it's like when you're forced to do it, now is Jim going to be looked at like, oh wow, you were able to get through internationals almost the same way you were earlier on in the season. And it's like, oh man, all right, but did you really find anything? Because then you got to go back to the guys. You got to go back and play them. So that'll be big, I think. I'm gonna write that down about here in the next, because they get the bye week, and then after the bye week, guess who comes to town?
You got
the circus.
You got a little bit of a goal coming through.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's going to be ugly. JD checking is, I like seeing Bedoya off the bench, but again, things have changed since he's been starting. Boho is now better off the bench, and so is Bedoya's to start. And then Angel chiming in and goes, I talked to my rep. Union have 14K season ticket holders. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I got a funny question for you. So you've seen the new Union Yards, right?
Yes, beautiful.
So yes, definitely beautiful. But since their opening, their grand opening, the Union haven't won at all at home.
Yes.
So is Union Yards cursed? Are they cursed? The curse of Union Yards.
Yes. No, I know where you're going with this. Just play on your practice field. Anywhere but Subaru Park.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
We need it closed for close before home games for whatever reason. Open up after. They should just be the after party, just the after. Close for before till we get a win.
I'm telling you, it's getting ugly down there. But again,
When you got to
Saturday
reach, it's when you got to reach like that.
Hey, listen, we're getting desperate now. Listen, but Saturday they'll try it again because this is another opportunity. On paper, they should be able to take care of Montreal. On paper, however, Montreal's smell himself a little bit. Saturday or Wednesday, last night rather, they take care of DC at home. Forced DC to have a turnover, breakaway goals, the 2-1 man advantage. If you want to talk a little hockey with it, they looked really, really sharp. They looked great yesterday, making big time plays. Their best player only has 4 goals, but against this Union team, he might rack up 7 at best. So I don't know. This Union team needs to figure it out tomorrow. Come Saturday. You got Montreal coming in. You guys take a little break, and Jim really needs to start hitting the film hard and come up with a scheme that works. And like I said, I don't know because he probably doesn't find out to the last minute who's ready, what's in his lineup, what can he do, what kind of adjustments. I mean, he should have a clear idea that a couple guys are not going to get up, are not going to be there. They just got the call up to with the internationals. So this is an opportune time to see what you and Coach Marlon LeBlanc from Union 2 talk with him. Find out who's ready to step up other than a 14-year-old kid. Who else? And a raccoon. Who else? You tell me who else is ready to come through. And who's ready to make some plays. JD checking in is we don't see practice, so if someone isn't playing, there's probably a reason, which we mentioned. Hypothetically, a situation is not naming a specific player. If a player X talks in practice or has a bad attitude, he won't play. Yeah, that's what we kind of touched on too. Like, if he's not having good practice, Uncle Jimmy's going to say, "Nah, just sit here."
Nope.
And Angel says, and now they close the bridge Wednesday, and it will be closed for Saturday after the game. Wow.
Man, that's gonna be horrible.
Well, listen, that is gonna be horrible.
It's gonna be horrible
traffic.
That's gonna be horrible.
That is. That's gonna be bumper to bumper on the way down there. But listen, we're getting ready to wrap up the show. Before I do, a couple questions I need to get into. Steve, are you ready for question number 1? What are we going to have down for our meal of the day for Saturday?
So I'm actually I'm not covering this one, so I get to be a fan for this one on Saturday.
Yes,
so
yes.
it's going to be So I'm going to be we're just grilling. We're just doing burgers, dogs, potato salad. Going to get down there early. Tailgate. So if you're out there tailgating, that would be in Lot G. From the time the gates open, I'll be bouncing between Sons of Ben, Union Yards, and then the parking lot. So make sure you come over and say what's up if you see me walking around.
There you go. Saturday night. Well, I'm pretty much hot dog and burgered out. I'm done.
After this weekend?
I think I've had enough. I think I'm due for like a nice, just man. I know there's no rule you said you cannot have a nice taco, a nice burrito on a nice Saturday night. Get like nice fajita. That's something nice. I mean, I'm burgering a hot dog out, and I save pastas for Sundays. So, but I mean, other than that, I mean, that's where I would probably go. So, with that being said, though, I gotta ask you, Steve, out of market game to watch for the weekend, and to me, there's only really 2 to watch, and none of them have to do with the East Coast. It's all Western Conference games. So for me, anyway.
There are.
So Steve, do you want to lead it off, or you want to lead it off?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm gonna go my first game. I'm gonna take Salt Lake and Austin, Texas. Is my game to watch for an out-of-market game. That's going to be my out-of-market game to watch. Keep an eye on. That's two heavyweight teams in the Western Conference right now. Salt Lake City is just a team on a mission right now, and the best team in the Western Conference. And it's going to be interesting because they're going to have a little bit of a nice challenge from this Austin, Texas team who's just come out of nowhere. And yes, I'm a big fan of their green jerseys.
They do. That's one of my favorite things too about MLS is how much they change every 2 years. You get a new home jersey every 2 years. You get a new away kit. So that green and black combo is a good one. So you're right there.
Mm-hmm.
So my out of market is going to be the Sunday, the lone game on Sunday, Atlanta against Charlotte. Atlanta got a big win last night. Against Miami, which shocked everyone. So coming off a big win like that, Charlotte, we need them to take some L's because I think right now they're. Let me look at the table. Yeah, they're right above us now in the standings, in 7th place, 3 points behind them. So. We're not going to be able to move up that much in the standings, but we need some help.
Right.
That's where this club is at now. We need help with other clubs beating some of the other people in the standings. So that'll be looking at that game, Atlanta, Charlotte, Sunday.
It's crazy. Like you said, we're in leapfrog mode. We need teams to start slowing down. We're going to be rooting for other teams. It's crazy. All right. And just think about it. We are now almost coming up on halfway of the season already. It's gone by that quick. So, so guys, tomorrow, Steve, final thoughts for Saturday and overall about this week.
Plus, defense and Semmle. You can't ask any more for what they're doing. Saturday, you need to score goals. At least 2 against a club that has a minus 12 goal differential. So now that the defense is in shape, in form, Semmle is looking good, the offense has to show up on Saturday. So that's my defense is good. Defense last two matches, Saturday, it's got to be all offense. And Jim's got to have an offensive mindset if Carranza is available with his starting lineup Saturday. What do you got?
Okay. I'm gonna piggyback. I'm gonna say final thoughts of the week. I was similar. 3 clean sheets, playing extremely well ever since the get right games with New England. Looking really fine out there, making all the right plays, becoming a brick wall out there. Defense in front of him has been really solid, helping them out. Key takeaway for Saturday, the offense needs to come through. The offense, maybe Gaza get things going for you, and then someone else comes through. Maybe you'll get one that out of hats, a Bedoya goal. Maybe you get a out of a hat Uwa goal out of nowhere. But you need that. You're going to need consistency. You're going to need all hands on deck right now. This is get a win at home, please. Please get at home. Get a win at home. That's the key takeaway. Get a win at home, please. Mm-hmm. All right. So, guys, listen. For me, for Steve, we will catch you guys next week. And, guys, stay tuned because, again, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m., we catch on with Phil Stifle, who does a great job here with Edge of Philly Sports. Guys, he'll have you bright and early tomorrow morning. And then we go on from there tomorrow and then lead you on until Friday night into the close to the midnight hours at 10 o'clock because those Steel Steps guys, they'll be ready to rock and roll, talking all professional wrestling. So, guys, catch you
Sunday
so much
morning.
More.
What about Sunday morning?
Sunday
morning. Going to be on?
Please pray for me Sunday mornings where I have to sit next to and do a show with Mike Laro. I try not to mention his name. No, I'm kidding. Mike Lara, PM and AM Sunday morning as well. We'll be ready to rock and roll. A lot of questions and answers as far as listen. We start questioning this head coach. The Philadelphia Wings don't even have a head coach. So, guys, we'll talk some more stuff here. Guys, stay tuned. Edge Philly Sports. You know where it's at. See you guys. See you next time.
Later.
Once I have the cue up the music, we'll be ready to rock and roll.